Yeah, Rocket move like he's supposed to be being a Wildcat. Yeah, it's working. Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. Just seeing like I said, you can see Kentucky has the quickness factor in them, and they seem a little over anxious right now. You know what I mean? Like they hyped up for this game, especially Michigan State being #1 in the nation and Final Four. Everybody predicting them to win, and so on and so forth. So it's gonna be interesting seeing how it all plays out. Oh, sealed them. Hey man, it's gonna be a good game. Hey, Kentucky is #2. It ain't like they unranked.
Right.
It ain't like they young and unranked, you know.
Definitely.
So yeah, but Rocky got a different speed about him.
Can you hear me?
Oh man, turnover.
Okay.
Back on. You good, Thomas?
Yeah. My mic was out for a minute.
Sorry about that. Just trying to add a little mic to help those folks who may be checking in. Yeah, it's a good game. I wonder if this game is going to be similar to the game we saw between Kansas and Duke a second ago. I mean, how many lead changes? So many lead changes.
Duke ended up pulling that out, didn't they?
Yep,
yes, they did. Yes, they did. Along with Kansas, 28
turnovers.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's rough.
It sounded like Kansas. It sounded like Duke didn't pull it out. It sounded like Kansas gave it to him.
Yeah. That's pretty much kind of what happened. And one.
And I have to admit, man, I'm a little slow on Kentucky scouting report. I can't really go through their roster just yet and tell you who they have. Who they got young, fast kids every year. That's all you need to know about their roster. Says when Calipari get on that jet to go to somebody's house to do that recruiting, he's not playing.
And I think they got a couple of transfers this year as well. So they got some kids that aren't just freshmen. They got some kids that transferred over to Kentucky.
Those are your program guys.
People that already played a year or two of college ball. So they kind of already got a little bit of experience under their belt. But yeah, man. Yeah, this kid, I remember he was featured on like a HBO special.
He was on an HBO special about not getting paid.
Yeah, yep.
What do you mean?
He about like a senior now, though.
Remember the special that LeBron and Maverick put together?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, #4. He from New York. He thought he was gonna be able to be one and done, but this is like he like a junior or senior.
He was balling last year. Yeah, I thought he was gonna go last year.
He was doing all right. His sound cut out.
Sound cut out for you?
I'm still here.
Keith, can we hear you?
Lindsay want me off the air.
No, man. No. Can't do that. They come back yet?
I hear you.
Keith, we hear you. You just don't hear yourself.
Yo.
Here, let's switch this for a second. Okay. Yeah, it did cut off. What's that about?
Yo. Hey, Kentucky. Hey, Michigan State out here fouling. They out here fouling, man.
They gotta learn to keep their feet down.
Yeah, man. We gotta see. I want to see. A lot of people expecting Aaron Henry to make a little jump.
Oh,
so it's gonna be interesting to see if he's able to,
we're back.
Have meet some of the expectations. Hey, shout out to Justin Ingram. I think they had their first game tonight as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they end up pulling it out or not.
Did they have a nice rank? Were they ranked?
No, they're not ranked, but they always been having a pretty good year every year. Like top 2 or first place on their side of the division for the MAC conference. So good swing.
Who was that?
Look, Cashy got to try to take over. He already trying to take over, man. There's different speed out there.
Cash is a super senior this year.
Yeah, I mean, so what do you guys see him going in the draft?
Where do we see him going in the draft?
Late first, early second.
First round?
Late first, early second.
Late first.
I don't want to throw no predictions out and sound like I'm knocking Cassius at all, so I'm not going to speak on my predictions.
Go ahead. What you got, man? What you got? We sharing all the things.
I don't think Cassius is going to get drafted.
But he still may get picked up?
He might get picked up, but I don't see him getting drafted. The reason being is he's a slow guard, you know what I mean? Right. And you look at all the pass guards that Michigan State has who haven't got drafted, who are faster. And honestly, if you really look at it, better pro players that look like they were better pro players than him, I don't see it happening for him. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I think somebody's going to look at his IQ. They're going to look at, all right, he might be somebody that you can bring off the bench for forever.
Leadership.
Yep. All that type of good stuff. Maybe, we'll see what happens. Because, it's
I pray for the best. I definitely pray for it.
It's going to be a struggle for him to get drafted and to make a roster because, the speed part, is the physicality part of it, that's what's going to be the big thing for him. So we'll see how that works out because Andre Miller, he wasn't the fastest guy, but he had a good body on him.
Hey, he stayed in the league for what,
Yeah, he said
almost 20 seasons.
Yeah, long.
Every year I would look out and say he's still playing.
That man was a surgeon with that ball, though.
Yeah, but he had a more solid body though. So
and he wasn't fit. He wasn't athletic. He wasn't jumping out the gym.
Nope. A little bit taller than Cassius, and like I said, a little bit bigger. As far as his weight and stuff. So that kind of helped him out. Toledo lost by 2 tonight to Valparaiso. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's something to be said about coming from a program like Michigan State. The advantage people get is that they know your pedigree. They know who the coach is. It's not like it's one of those programs where the coaches change. They know if they get a Michigan State player, they almost know what they can expect: a hard worker, a defender, a communicator, team-oriented player. You don't get too many prima donnas who make it to Michigan State, make it out of Michigan State, and go to the NBA. I don't think.
Right. Can I ask you guys a question real quick?
Absolutely.
So we're going to commercial break with with Kentucky, Michigan State. Got the 4 coaches here at the Champion Classic, right? Mm-hmm. You a basketball player, right? You a basketball player coming out of high school. How are you ranking the coaches?
Oh, wow.
Who's your
coaches?
1, 2, 3, and 4?
Coach K, number 1. That's without question.
Okay.
Why? Let's give our ranking and say why.
Yikes.
Coach K, number 1. The reason why Coach K, number 1, his production and his legacy already is cemented.
Okay.
5, 6 championships?
Yeah, here on there. Yeah.
He's produced multiple NBA stars.
Right.
Several number 1 picks. Players actually have legacies in the NBA, things of that nature.
Right.
I would go with Coach Izzo is number 2.
Okay.
He only has like 1 or 2 of them that's been solid NBA pro. I mean, like
who Coach K?
Yeah.
Solid.
Okay. Solid.
Thomas' eyes got big.
That had like a long. They might have had a long career, but they were solid. Who besides Grant Hill? Who else?
Well, bar injury, Jason Williams would have been a legendary point guard. We could say.
Maybe.
Shane Battier, maybe considered
solid.
Solid. Elton Brand was a solid player.
Solid.
Carlos Boozer had a nice long career.
Solid. That's a lot of solid players,
but not
top tier.
Who has Michigan State had has been top tier? Out of Izzo's regime,
I would put Zach Randolph above most of the people that we mentioned.
Oh, would you? His legacy's not as his legacy.
Who was a better player in the NBA? I think Zach Wright. I think
what do we define a better player as?
So would you have picked Zach Randolph or Carlos Boozer?
At what time? The year they were drafted? At 80 point in the NBA career, Carlos Boozer was awesome at one point in his career.
So Zach or Carlos? You picking Carlos?
I'm picking Zach because I'm with the Spartans.
Yeah, I'm feeling Tebow.
I'm just saying, Zach's best years were better than Carlos Boozer's best years.
So Keith, are you talking about a narrative that Duke players, once they go to the NBA, aren't dominant players in it? No, I'm just asking.
I'm just saying that there hasn't been any elite.
Kyrie not elite?
There you go. You got a good one. All right, you got me on that one. But he only played 2 games for Duke, so I don't know if he was really a Blue Devil at all. I'm just joking. Kyrie. You know what? Kyrie would be the one. I would put Kyrie, Grant Hill, and then Elton Brand. It's probably the top 3.
What about Corey McGetty? No,
solid.
No, not at all.
No, I mean, it's not knocking them. They all had good
you want to look
careers,
at contracts?
But you got, like I said, you have to look at Shane Battier. Shane Battier got 2 championships.
You
know what I'm saying? Lockdown defender.
Jason Richardson, solid player.
Never made an All-Star game.
Zach Randolph, very solid player.
How many All-Star games he made?
Who's the shooter with the Pelicans right now?
JJ Redick. Solid career.
Hasn't missed the playoffs since he's been in the NBA.
Okay, well, this is the argument you can make. They may not be superstars, but they have sustainable long-term careers.
Yeah, very true. Which matters.
Yeah, I mean,
which matters.
What does it do?
He still has more.
As far as Coach
he has a lot. So Coach K is number 1.
He coaches people that has longevity in that.
Right.
Bill Self has to be 4th. I mean,
he's definitely 4th.
Yeah,
him and Calipari could be tied for 4th. I don't know who you put at number 3.
Right. You guys will go for it. Okay, good to see you guys. All right, thank you guys. All right, take care. You got the coaches stepping in and whatnot.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. I mean, I'm a Coach Cal guy, so
I'm not a Coach Cal guy.
I really like him a lot, man.
I started to like Coach Cal after I heard his narrative about coaching. I didn't trust his coaching at first. I was like, he just goes out and just gets the big guys to come play. But listen to him.
He got the elite players.
He do get elite players.
Marcus Camby. Derrick Rose.
He knows how to recruit him.
I mean, he had
John Wall.
I mean,
Anthony Davis.
I mean, so many. Karl Anthony Towns.
Well, you know, one of his coaching
It takes
tactics,
a special talent to actually coach all those good players.
But he only has
good players.
He only has one championship, though.
I agree, but he has one more than many other have. Coaches only has one. One thing he says,
his legacy.
It is one thing he says that's an excellent coaching recruitment tool. He tells all these great 5-star recruits. He said, "I want you, but I don't need you.
Right.
I want you, but I don't need you." And I think that alone draws some players in. Right now, we have Kentucky up over Michigan State, 11-7, with 14 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first half. I mean, what do you guys take at this score? Is this score indicative of what's really going on? You guys think?
I think Michigan State has the jitters, starting the game off early. You know, you got freshmen like Rocket. This is a big stage for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Playing against the number 2 team, you're starting. You wasn't supposed to start naturally. You weren't supposed to start. You know, so those things are playing a part into it. And then you got the speed with Kentucky. Kentucky got a bunch of young guys with speed, agility, and athleticism. You know, like look at Kyle Arms on the floor right now.
See that
you know
flop?
Oh, Kyle is playing.
That wasn't a flop. That was just a good sell.
I wasn't expecting Kyle to play.
Yeah, Kyle's on the floor right now. So, you know,
he's so accident prone. I just hope he can stay healthy.
Yeah. Nice kid, though.
Oh, really good. He just got married over the summer, too.
Yeah, I saw that.
2 players on the team married. Wow, that's a different kind of maturity going on.
You know, when I met Xavier Tillman, I told him, I said, you're going to be a captain of the team before your senior year. And he was like, why you say that? I said, you coming into the team like a man already. You know what I'm saying? You're coming with a kid. You're coming with a girl. And he was like, man, that's funny. I don't believe that. And everybody in the house was like, we told you. No. It was something interesting. You guys came out to support Moneyball this summer, which is great, with Jack Ebling and I, and it was great to be out there. But there was one thing that was really indicative of what you're saying, Thomas. Xavier was sitting at the table like this doing an interview, and Gabe Brown came up behind him. You know, Gabe is colorful. Gabe's go dance and do all this thing. But Gabe is behind him dancing, doing all this stuff. And X is not even moved by it. I said, how do you handle it? They said, man, I'm with these guys. They do that stuff all the time. It's like if I don't be like this, who will? Yeah. So he's forced to kind of be in this father figure type role.
Right, big brother type guy.
Yeah, and that's only going to help someone like him to go to the NBA, because talk about, he ain't trying to put on for the fam. I mean, he's literally trying to put on for the fam, like his wife and his daughter and his, soon to be son or daughter that's come along. We're looking good. Again, we got a 7-11 lead by Kentucky. Pushing it back. Got 13 minutes to go. We saw Kyle Arns. We see Gabe Brown on the floor right now. We see the freshman Malik Hall. I mean, what do you guys take on those guys I just named? Kyle, Malik, and Gabe.
I like Malik a lot. Gabe has become my favorite player on the team just because of his energy. Yeah, his energy and personality is
when he does it, when he does that little thing.
He just,
I ain't gonna lie, man. That irritates me.
Talk about it, Keith.
That part do irritate me a little bit. Talk about energy outside of that, I love it.
You know what, man? Trust me, I'm all about fun. I'm all about talking smack.
Speaking of Gabe, he knocks down the 2. Go ahead.
Was that Gabe or was that?
That was Gabe.
That was Gabe. Number 44. He's wearing number 44.
Okay, he changed the number.
That's his dad's number. He's wearing it to honor his late father.
Okay, I can dig it.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I like him as a player. It seems obviously like he's a good kid. Sometimes all the extraness on the side, though, I could just do without. You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like I can just do without it, man.
Do you know who was that guy at one point?
Who was?
Danny Green was that guy when he was at North Carolina.
When he was at Cleveland.
No, when he was at North Carolina, he was that guy.
Danny Green used to get down like that?
He used to dance on the sideline. They called him Dancing Danny.
Dancing Danny.
And then they realized he could shoot.
That changed everything.
Hey, real quick, I want to shout out Coach Cal, going back to the coaching part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Final Fours with 3 different schools.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though he only got 1 championship, 3 different schools all got him to the Final Four.
Didn't they delete all this stuff at
but if you look,
Memphis?
Marcus Camby was the problem at
Massachusetts.
UMass.
Yeah,
Derrick Rose was the problem at Memphis because of the school stuff, not because of.
Yeah, it's never the game. It's always the school.
But you know what?
I'm just saying that's real though.
But check it out. I am a huge Calipari fan. Don't get me wrong. I was in the situation. I had a chance to get a selfie with him, but that was just the time all my memory locked up. So I was like, click, like he was like, your camera not working, man. So, but my point being, I'm a huge Cal fan, but I have to say the common denominator
is him,
Keith. Yeah, at Massachusetts, common
denominator is young kids.
I don't know, Keith. I don't know. I agree, but no. Young kids is the general piece. The thing that stays the same is that Coach Calipari shows up. For whatever reason, you haven't heard any scandals at Kentucky because people like to paint that narrative that wherever he goes, scandal follows. But I don't care, man. Anybody who can wear some Gucci's every time he get on the court, you know what I'm saying? And just keep it cool. You got to love it, man. Now, his son is coming to play for University of Detroit.
I think I heard
his son is a walk-on at University of Detroit. Yep. So Calipari is going to be in the building. I mean,
playing for Coach Mike Davis, right?
Yep.
Final four, Mike Davis.
Final four, Mike Davis. When he at the University of Indiana, replacing the legendary Bobby Knight.
Okay.
Did Mike Davis? Is he? Did he recruit? Did he get Chris Bosh? Because didn't he go to Georgia Tech or no? Well, that was Paul Hewitt. I'm thinking.
Yeah, there was no connection there. But Mike Davis is a great coach. He has an open gym policy. If you went down to University of Detroit Mercy right now, you probably can get in the gym and see those guys in there working out. Seems like Kentucky has kind of hit a wall because they've been at this score almost for a long time, 7-11 or 9-11, I should say.
What about 3 or 4 turnovers? It's their youth. It's their youth.
Well, it's a huge game early in the season. I think Keith and I were talking about that earlier about this earlier part of the season. For me personally, I'm not gonna get on my soapbox. It's a big money grab by the NCAA. They basically just gave you a Final Four out of nowhere, instant Final Four, and believe me, they go still charge the same for rooms, popcorn, and everything like that. But this is really right as we see Coach Izzo. This is right up his alley as far as playing those tough games early on in the season to prepare for March. So
yeah, definitely.
It's a good setup with that.
I know we got the Duke game on December 3rd.
December 3rd, yep. That's gonna be a big deal.
That's Draymond's retirement jersey game,
yeah,
right?
Smart to make that connection. So that's gonna really pack the house out, make it a real.
I didn't put it together till like 2 days after I realized
that was the date.
I was like,
yeah, that's gonna be the day with the most media, the most happenings that'll be going on. That's basically be the biggest regular season game. Rocket Watts, get ready to go to the basket.
Give me that.
That's okay. Hope he has no problem shooting. Here, guys, with my guy Thomas Cage, talking about some networking opportunities going on in the community. What's the date for that event that's coming up again?
November 16th, Saturday, November 16th.
And it's going to be where?
At the RA1, the Range, on May Avenue, on May Street.
Sure. That'll be good. And then we got Keith Tate here representing. Keith, you got some events coming up yourself, right?
Yeah, man. Like to do a couple little gatherings during the holiday season.
Excited for those.
Day before Thanksgiving, gonna get some people together. Then Monday, December 23rd. Also, so definitely like to, like I said, just get everybody together around the holiday time, have some fun. People that's back in town, kicking it. Everybody likes
on a Monday.
Yep, the 23rd is on a Monday. I've done that date for about a decade. Not every single year, but I think my very first like actual party, back in my days with Justin Boyd and Joe Brown, was on the 23rd out of Edgeroos. So yeah.
And what's the location for this one that's coming up?
I can't give out that information, man. Unless you got invited.
Okay. All right, no problem. I get it. Well, damn. I hope I get a ticket.
Right, I'm about to say the same thing.
For sure.
All I heard was Keith was having an event. I hope I get an invite.
Hey, everybody that know, everybody knows what's good. You know what I mean? Like the people that know.
Yeah,
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. If you got to ask, that's not it. Well, what we're gonna do? We're gonna wrap up this first. I would say this second session. We had Trayshawn Adams on a little earlier, and then we can cut this off, and then we can come back in a little while as a group and take it to the next. But right now, from what I last saw, Kentucky was ahead 11-9
correct,
against Michigan State. So we'll just sign off for now, guys. We'll come back in a second.